Hi, my name is Liz, and in the last year I was a youth representative for the DMNS Institute of Science and Policy, and I have my own blog for the future. The last year has been the craziest year of my life. We have a pandemic going on. The United States is figuratively and literally on fire. I got to intern at an action museum, and I got to sit down with scientists, elected officials, journalists, and other really cool people. To be honest, it was terrifying, but probably the coolest thing I've ever done. The experience taught me how to articulate my thoughts under pressure and speak up when I know I have something important to say, even when it's really uncomfortable. But most importantly, it helped me understand how necessary it is to build a relationship between youth and policy. Humanity always has what feels like the next biggest problem to solve. In order to make sure we have a solution that works for everyone, we need to make sure that the system allows everybody to participate, especially the youth. The problems we've had in the last 20 years are the only problems the youth has ever known, and are the problems that will define our generation. Climate change, racial and economic inequality, social unrest, school shootings, technological ethics, and now the effects of a pandemic, and so much more. However, policies that will affect our futures are being put in place right now without our input. The role for youth in policy is to make sure that the government not only addresses one portion of the nation, but that the government addresses the interests of the future of our nation. Being the youngest and most inexperienced in the room was definitely really scary. However, I realized that being young and overly optimistic has its perks. The youth has always been able to look at the status quo and find solutions to problems because we've been able to look in from the outside. My generation is coming of age, and we are ready to take on the world's problems. We are ambitious, we are hungry for a challenge, and we have nothing to lose. But the Institute taught me that we don't have to do it on our own. The role of those who have been in our shoes before and who have had the same ambitions as us is to help us along the way. I met really cool people who were willing to teach me and show me what the real world is like. I met Representative Titone at the Institute, and she heard me talk about the disproportionate wealth gaps in Colorado school districts. She invited me to look into the bill she was working on, HB 20-1131, and then I worked to get the word out, wrote a speech, and went to the hearing to testify. She walked me through the hallways of the Denver Capitol and showed me what could be my reality one day. I'll never forget that and the experience I learned from that opportunity. In a time when the US is so polarized, it's more important than ever to establish these relationships. So instead of holding each other back, we can move forward together. It's up to you to help build these opportunities for collaboration, as well as think about the youth perspective when discussing policies with long-term effects.